Hello and welcome to the Buffy Club. Hi, Friday. It is Friday for most of us, I would think. So, Friday morning, Friday evening, Friday afternoon. Thank you very much for spending your time with me, whatever time it is where you are today. Hey, Rayan, for being the first. Welcome and thank you very much. And Kira, hey. You wanted to be the first. I love you the same. So, thank you very much for being here. So, we are drawing for the Buffy Club. Every Friday we have our little Buffy Club where we, on our Discord, we have seen everybody on his own time 2 episodes. We start with Season 2 today. Episode 1 and 2 of Season 2. We have decided who is the most important person for us. Just our opinion, just what we selected, and it was the Anointed One. I actually at this point have to concentrate to not say the annoying one. But Spike coined that, not us, and Buffy fandom took it mostly over, I think. The poor little actor cannot do anything about that, and he doesn't deserve it. But the annoying one, here he is. So we will start with that. Yataxi Drawing, welcome to the stream. Hey. Mary, hi. How are you? How are you, Mary? How are you, Yataxi? I've seen videos of yours, Mary, today. I have just not commented on them yet. I think so. No, I have commented on one, but I have seen more videos of yours, Mary, today. So, welcome to the stream, and how are you? How annoying, yes. The microphone, I can put it closer. It should be even better audio this way. So, I have, as always, prepared our little annoying one here. I will switch over to the drawing one because nothing is stopping us from starting to draw now. I have prepared the proportions beforehand, as always, so that we can start and dive right into the fun of drawing our little Anointed One. So, and how will we start? Don't ask me. Here is our pencil. We will start with the eyes, as always. Do I have here my anti-smudging guard professional art supply? I have to be careful. The other side is actually, you see, this is not the perfect way to do it because all that has been smudged on the previous picture. So I turn it around and smudge only on my hand. Why not? So, I'm pretty good, Mary. I am pretty good. It is Friday. I have all of you people here to draw with me. How could it be better? Okay, so we will draw the Anointed One today. He was in the first episode. Let me quickly. I think I have somewhere opened up the names of the episodes, so I don't tell you something wrong. So the first episode was when she was bad. That is actually the one where the Anointed One is coming from this time, and some assembly required. Which is not, and which is also not that exciting, to be honest. But we will talk about that. In the course of today's stream, I would say. So, still on the comments of a week ago, I completely know what you mean. I have not answered. I'm trying now, just because it is such a big slew of comments that I just don't manage to conquer. So I just start for now to just answer comments whenever I can, and I don't care if they are old, if they are new. When I see a comment in the studio app or wherever, I just answer. because otherwise it will just I won't get ahead of it. But I just will I will handle it as best as I can. I won't get ahead of it. And I don't even have your stellar views. I think the last video that I've seen, more than 200 views. You have to tell me your secret, how you got all those viewers. I have my subs, but viewer count is still a little bit difficult. Tell me all your secrets, but so, how do we do this? The eyes are very dark. So we have very dark eyes. You can't even see. I think actually I will again be a little bit bad and play around with brightness and contrast on my picture here that I'm using for reference. Just because I can. And it doesn't make that big of a difference. Just because I can. Other than it helps me to draw. This is actually a picture of the Anointed One. We are drawing him. I don't want to always say in the stream the annoying one. I will probably from time to time, but I try to say Anointed One. We are paying homage to him after all. So we are drawing him. I wanted to say something. I have already forgotten it because I was with most of my head on drawing the eye and thinking about how dark I go. So where is my So, first episode, exactly. So, the first episode, let me recount when she was bad. Exactly. So, this is an episode in which we see for the first time Buffy's father. He and her mother, they are divorced, or are they getting still a divorce? I'm actually not sure right now. And he and her mother, they are divorced, or are they getting still? She is dreaming a lot of the master, and she is quite traumatized by the experience from the episode before. And can you blame her? She, after all, died and came back and then conquered her fears. But she still fears that he could come back, and she's not too wrong with that, because the vampires, his disciples, and of course in that regard the Anointed One, try to resurrect the master. So what does she do? She wins, and she works on her fears by using a sledgehammer to grind our master's bones to pieces. It turns out you can actually revive a vampire like the master, because the other ones did not really leave a skeleton. The master did leave a skeleton, and if you have that skeleton, it looks like you can revive them. But she takes care of that, and bye bye skeleton. Try and draw Jared Padalecki. I will draw him out too, but probably not next week already. I don't know. Perhaps I will. To make it good, I will tell you to make a collab. Sorry to talk about another show, but I'm not on Buffy right now. Don't worry. We can talk also about Supernatural during the stream. This is not only Buffy centric. This is viewer centric, and I want to make my viewers happy. And if you want to talk about supernatural, we can also do that. But I will come back to Buffy again and again. So it's actually also the first time that I am drawing a child on stream or on the channel. No, not true. I have drawn the backside of a child already, but not the face. I have drawn a how do you call it? Contest contribution. I don't know. There was a contest from Melinda. By chance, also someone I already drew for the content creator playlist on my channel, and she had a contest for her new song. I drew that picture, which I actually don't think is that bad. I posted it, I mailed it to the contest, and I never heard anything back. I'm not sure if something went wrong with my submission, if they were swamped so badly that they did not even answer everyone, but I never heard of them again. Which I found a bit sad. I'm throwing everything around here, I'm sorry. But this is the first classical portrait of a child that I am putting on my channel, so I hope it will work out. Classical portrait of a child that I am putting on my channel, so I hope it will. I'm already not really happy with the shape of the eye. And the thing is, you don't really see. You see this black that I've put here. It doesn't really look like eyelashes, but the quality of the picture, once again, it's not really good in that regard. Those details are completely swallowed up, so I don't see single strands of hair. So I have to kinda invent a little bit of that hair texture as good as I can. A little bit of that hair texture as good as I can. So I think that is acceptable. And we have I have to find out if there is a name for this. I wouldn't even know it in my mother tongue. This eye flap line. So eyelid, I know that in general it is called eyelid, but if this, I'm just asking myself if this line that it forms, if it has a name other than eyelid line. If this, I'm just asking myself if this, because that sounds a bit strange. If you ask me, name other than eyelid line. Because that sounds a bit strange. If you ask me. So we have little light points, for which we will use my trusted gel pen. Light points, for which we will use my trusted gel pen. Hello Altek, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining. How are you today? How do you enjoy your Friday so far? How do you enjoy So, eye number 1 is done. He is a vampire, yes, but we never see him in his vampire phase, which is an interesting contrast. I don't know, they probably couldn't do that, or they did not want to do that because it's a child, and perhaps they weren't even allowed to do it. But even so, it is a very interesting contrast to the Master, who is always in his vampire phase, and the Anointed One never shows the vampire phase, so young, old. It is kind of interesting, and it's kind of, I don't know, they never give it a significance, but it somehow feels significant. It is kind of interesting, and it's kind of, I don't know, they never give it a significance. Don't know what you guys think, because you don't tell me. Don't know what you guys think. So this eye, we have to be a bit careful again. The lighting is a little bit difficult, which can make it look a bit out of proportion. Friday got much better 5 minutes ago. You finished work? That's great. Is anyone getting a light echo on the vocal? Let me see. A light echo. How can I check this? I don't have any device here on which I can play it myself. Is anybody else getting that? Mary, are you still there? Kira, do I have an echo for you? Is anybody else getting that? Mary, I will check. Do I have an echo for you? Now, if it is a slight echo, it can at least not be. Oh, this could be it. That would be a hard echo. But this was. I don't know. No echo? Okay. I did something, Altex, so if it is better now, let me know. If not, might be, I don't know, a YouTube hiccup or something. Hello Liana, welcome. Yeah, I had in the browser where I have one browser open to see the chat, because I can see it better that way. On that I could see it there, but this is closer on that screen, and it was not muted, so it's very well can be that there was a seconds later audio from that, so that should be gone now, if that was the case. How are you, Liana? And welcome. So, yeah, should be better now. Actually, I think it is a good thing that we are drawing the Anointed One now, because I honestly don't think that there will be another opportunity to do so without spoilering too much. So is this looks okay. Confused as it's already past 7. It is already past 7. But why does that confuse you? It's not because of the stream, right? The stream has to be at this time. I am pretty good actually. I feel I have a slight headache because I've done a little bit of mind work this morning, but that was expected and fine and not too bad. And now I can draw, and that makes me happy. So I am very fine. Thank you very much for asking. Diana is Mrs. Confused. That is not wrong. Yeah, but why is it so late already? In January you mean? Because time, I think. I think time is the issue here. Why does it look like he has much more eyelashes on the right side than on the left side? Is that a Vampire Kid thing? Non-equal eyelashes. Also, I do not see, might be quality of the picture, do not see any this line I draw, and which helped there a lot to make it look more realistic. It's just not there on the right side. For now we will stick to what the picture tells me to do, but I'm not happy with it. Time flies. Missgeschick, but that is German. That does not work in this context. You can be more than one thing, Liana. Don't limit yourself. I think you're capable to be much more than just one thing. So how do we continue this? Because this is a very interesting picture. I chose this because the lighting situation is really cool and interesting. A good thing for myself, I have already drawn in a little bit. I measured and stuff the general area of the light, the big light that is over his nose and the side of his face. So I can color it in white. And that is probably where we will directly jump in. Although I'm not really sure how we differentiate in that white, in that light area, you know. So we're out of time and we're back with the puns. By the way, we started again with Lucifer, second season, and were reminded again so heavily why you like that show. There is a pun every 2 minutes. I think you can collect as many titles as you want. I believe in you. I think I will sharpen the white pencil which of course directly broke. So slow and careful. You know this, and it broke again. And you probably should do it with a knife or something. He puns very much. At least in season 2, the first episodes. Every time he puns so much. So yes, he does. Perhaps it's later, not that much anymore, but there, very much. Like, a lot, you know. So, I think I'm actually just drawing the line, and then we will draw above. So that we have a first line, a limit, so to speak, in which we then can draw the upper part around the eye. Because I still don't know exactly how I will draw all that and have the light and darkness differences in that area. So, oh, Lucifer, Lena, we need to restart watching this. Maybe I'm too distracted by the hotness. I don't see that much hotness, but that is me. Does Lucifer count as a superhero? Not necessarily, but so does Dean Winchester. So I have opened up, you know. I could draw Lucifer if that's what people want. You know, I like to give people what they want. As long as I also want it. Let me clarify that. So actually I will also draw in just a little bit more and more concrete the hair, just this area. So don't get me wrong, I will just really define the hairline, because there's also light and I want to make that light. And here we have a little bit of an eyebrow, goes till here. He's a cute little vampire, you can say that, no? He might be known as the annoying one, but he's a cute little vampire. We've never seen him feed also. They probably were not allowed to let him feed, so perhaps he's on a diet. So, does Lucifer count as a superhero? He is from the DC universe, that is true. Hey Rayan. Beautiful eyes, thank you very much. I think the one of the portrait are also not that bad. I know you meant those. Yes, please. Looks so real. Thank you, Rayan. Lucifer pick. So two voices for Lucifer. Don't forget to put it into the request area in the thingy, Discord. So we have here darkness, shadow. We'll actually, I think, define this area here in this face, this which also looks a little bit lighted and pretty not dark. I'm not that good in English today, I'm sorry. We will define that as the gray of the paper. He's a cute little annoying one, right? Yeah. So we have a shadow that goes around. Let me try to put this in here. The shadow. We have a shadow that is pretty dark surrounding his eye. Should be like this, I guess. And that is one of the darker parts of our picture. It's not really a hard line, so I have to make sure that it is blended in. And then it gets a little bit lighter here. Stays dark over there. And then we kinda have that shadow, I think. Not sure if I will start to blend it like with the master, you know, get it smoothed out. Sometimes it also looks good like this. So not sure. So this is actually the shadow from the hair, so we need to give it a little bit of hairy texture. But just on the sides, not on in the so on the lines, outlines, not the general. You know what I mean. You know. I hope you know. It looks a bit strange, of course, because it is the only thing we have drawn yet. But it will come together, I hope. So we can continue with the line over the nose. Me too, Mary. Me too. Yeah, it's a different approach. This to draw in the spots, you know, the areas, to concentrate on areas rather than a direction, if you know what I mean. I haven't done that yet, but this is very area centric, the lighting. It defines very clear areas, so I feel like this could work. It feels natural to me to try to do it this way. Hey Donna, welcome to the stream. How is packing going? And how are you today in general? Of course, those areas are not, we cannot let them look like clearly defined areas. They have to blend into each other, but they are, you can look at them as single areas and then draw them and then blend them together. Should make it easier for us. We will see how the result will look. You're overpacking. You're doing good. That's good. Yeah, I really don't like moving. I don't know. Are you moving a lot? I think some Americans are moving a lot. How is it with you? I so don't like moving. If it was for me, I would just never move. Last time we paid a moving company, and the time before that also, although of course still you are packing yourself a lot of stuff into the boxes. You see already again that I am pretty fast moving forward with this. That is because children in general have less detailed skin because they are young. They are not really wrinkles or that many blemishes most of the time. And also the picture is devoid of any details, so it just is quicker. If you've seen how long it took with the Dean photo, that is because the photo was very detailed. Packing and moving is great for throwing out the junk stuff that people gather over time and don't need it. That is not wrong. It's the only time really that I ever am utilizing, how do you call it, Sperrmüll, when you order the big removal of big junk stuff, and you just put it in front of the house and people get it and throw it away. Don't know how that is called in English, but I actually one time I found it so freeing that I entered the same day, I think a year later, into my calendar as a yearly reminder of doing exactly that. But I never did again. Did not work out that well. We wanted to move to Arizona, but the houses are going so fast, so Texas it is. So I agree, Mary, that part. I do like throwing all the junk out we don't need. Yeah, if you can part with it. Sometimes I think I should be more ready to part with stuff. Sometimes not easy. So how many boxes do you have now, Dana? And are you driving them yourself, or are you using a company that is driving the stuff down to Texas? I would pay a company to do that, right? It's such a long way. How are you doing it? So I'm still not sure if I will start blending. I might start, like with the master, I might start the blending after the stream. Not sure, because I've still to decide. As I said, it can look interesting. Could be a style thing to not blend it. It was really required for the master. He looked pale, he looked uninteresting. Not yet sure if the Anointed One needs the same treatment. We decided to sell pretty much everything and just start new. That must be so freeing. I was thinking, I never moved a long way, so if you're moving like from Arizona to Texas, it's halfway around the world basically, so that becomes much more a thing you really consider. But that must be so freeing on the one hand, on the other hand also very scary. Except my art supplies, all that goes with that. I can't understand that. That would not make sense to buy that stuff new. We're driving it ourselves. Yeah, if you reduce it so much, then I can understand that. We looked into a moving company, but it was super expensive. I believe that. So... when is the moving taking place? When will you And do you already have the house now? Or are you still looking? I'm asking a lot of questions. You don't have to answer, I'm sorry. It is freeing. We start driving out of Alaska in 20 days. My oldest graduates, and on the 19th, the next morning, we leave. How do they feel with... I think it's pretty normal to leave then, right? But they are leaving their friends, aren't they? And everything they know. How do they feel about the move? Are they excited? I'm really careful here in trying to draw this line right. I actually enjoy this white pastel pen so much. I'm actually thinking about getting more pastel pens and trying to really draw something in pastel color. You know, I think I would enjoy that much more than with colored pencil. It would be more rough, as most of the stuff I'm doing, but still, I am kinda interested in trying that. Although I have really old pastel, but they are blocky, not the pen version, and I am not sure. I think they are completely different to use and not as easy to use for a beginner like me as pens are, but I might have to try it first with what I have. But they're really old. I have no idea if they even work. I have no idea if pastel is time critical. It will probably take us about 12 days to get there. 12 days, we are all they are excited. Alaska's big but small, if that makes sense. Yeah, I think I get what you mean. We have to fly everywhere if we want to take a vacation. Also, are you so far up north that the daytimes are completely skewed, so very dark and stuff like that, or is that not true? So always the combination of dark and light, that is what makes stuff interesting. And that is also the case here. So, but you have to be really careful to get the relationship right. and the proportions right. So, for 12 days, that's a real vacation, just the drive, right? So, are you planning to make a couple of stops and explore where you cross? There should be some interesting areas that you cross, right? We are on the Kenya Peninsula, so in the summer it's pretty much light out all the time, and in winter it's dark most of the time, except for like 4 hours. I think, but that is already good to even have those 4 hours, right? Because I was thinking about that today, because I don't know, in some shows somebody joked about moving to a city, what was it called, in Alaska, where there is supposed to be always night. I don't think a place like that exists. There has to be a day, but not that long. But still, they were joking about that, and I was thinking how it would be to live in a place where you never have sun. You can, if you would live in a place where there never is darkness, that wouldn't be too bad, because you can make darkness, if you know what I mean. A real sunlight, I'm here, this is daylight light bulbs that I'm using, which are actually, you notice when you sit under them and it's dark outside, you notice it a little bit, that it feels better than standard light, just a feeling thing, but still you know it is not real. And if I would have no option for sunlight, if you know what I mean, I think that's really bad. But I think 4 hours at least is something. Might already get a bit taxing, but at least something. I think I like how it looks for now. It still looks a bit strange because not everything is colored in, but the nose and everything, it starts to get a little shape. But I might have to use my blend. In Canada, we are not allowed to stop. When we get back into the States, then we will stop a few times. In Canada, you are not allowed to stop. How long have you to drive through Canada? Then is it just a few hours, or is it really days? Because if it is days, you have to stop. How is that supposed to work? And is that because of the pandemic, or is that why is that? Do they want to make sure migration-wise that you don't just build a hut somewhere and stay? Take about 2 days to get through. Do you have to sleep in the car then, or how does that work? And as I said, you don't have to answer, but it's just so interesting to me. You should do something like, because that sounds really interesting. You should do a vlog on your channel and talk about that, because I think a lot of people would be interested in how that works, and especially the concept to start completely new and your experiences then with that. We should consider doing a vlog. I have never done a vlog myself. I wouldn't even know how to start, but you can try and tell me how it works. We only can stop for gas. They stopped all the tourist spots because of COVID. Yeah, that I understand. But still, you have to sleep somewhere, right? Do they force you to sleep in the car? Mouth. We have to draw a mouth. I don't really like to draw the mouth though, because this is an especially difficult one, while the shape is pretty standard, I would say. And you don't have teeth, but the lighting is really strange. I have no idea if this is correct, because I was not very good in measuring that before, so I have to measure it now. Doesn't look wrong, but it somehow looks wrong, if you know what I mean. The measurement is not... Measurement says not, it's okay, but it looks... I would trust my gut more than my measurement. But that's why you should not draw directly with the lighter pencil. I again end more of like there where I already started. I want to go a little bit higher. Again, does not look perfect. We'll use this now and try to adjust with the shadows later if it really doesn't work out. I have the feeling like it won't really look better until we have all the surrounding shadows also done. Other end of the mouth is around here, so we still have to go a little bit out, and that is then all we need. So we stop and sleep when we need. I was thinking about doing a video of parts of our trip and posting it, and I think you can get a hotel room, but you have to make reservations in advance. But I want to get through as quick as possible, so we will just sleep in the truck. Yeah, if you cannot do and enjoy anything there anyway, why should you spend too much time there? I would also try to go through as quickly as possible. Yeah, but well, I would be interested in that. So little vlogs, perhaps a starting one explaining what's going on, and then some updates from the road. I would enjoy that. So again, I'm in a completely different spot. It should start with that probably, but I wanted to really make sure that I'm not completely off with the mouth. Because I kinda still feel like that is now the breaking point and that I am doing something wrong here. Is it should it be higher perhaps? Let me measure that. Looks also good. No, we will trust it for now. I think you can get. Oh, I read that. Okay. So, but we've talked so much about moving, and we can continue. But let me also get a little bit back to Buffy. I was talking about this episode. We also covered another episode, and it is called what is it called? Where is my browser? There. It is called Some Assembly Required. Thank you very much, Ryan. It is coming a little bit together. I think it will work out. Still a long time to go. So the second episode of our Buffy Club, what we have watched is an episode that is a little bit Frankenstein-esque, a little bit very much Frankenstein-esque, in so far that a pretty much genius on the side of a student has, because he misses his brother so much, has revived his brother. Kind of like Frankenstein, and then that is okay. So he's just revived the dead, which is in itself a little bit of a miracle and not a bad thing. But his brother also does want a girlfriend, and for some reason that girlfriend has to be also reanimated and constructed and so on and so on. More or less, I guess, because they want her in a position that she cannot really go for a regular boyfriend, but she has to settle for our undead friend. Sorry, I bumped the camera. And of course, Cordelia is the target in that case. But you guessed it, she survives, everything is good. So not that much to talk about, a regular Monster of the Week episode. Not that exciting, not that many consequences, so here we have to go a lot darker. We have to get this a little bit in perspective already, so that we can work out how the other surrounding areas should be shaded. We had said that this area here is the one that we define as the gray of the paper, and I want to stick with that for now. Might be that we completely shaded a very slight bit, that it might just look a bit strange. It works very well normally with white paper to do that, to define the lightest part of the skin as the white of the paper and then go with it. With the gray, I feel like it sometimes does not feel right to leave it unshaded. So, mouth. Let's continue with the mouth. We have the lips, which are not very visible. You have often very visible lips, a little bit like lines are surrounding them. Here with the lighting situation, you don't really have that very much. Just slight on some areas. So I try to draw those areas in and hope that the eye completes the rest, because this is one of those cases again, if you draw what you know, lips and the lines of the lips, it would be more recognizable from the start, but also the viewer would understand on a subconscious level, not because they are so experienced with lines and faces and stuff like that, but on an unconscious level, they would understand that something is wrong. So you have to stick to what you see and what there really is. That means not a lot of lines, but that also means you have to stick very closely to it, so the illusion and the effect that is here in place works in your picture, if you understand what I mean. It still has to look like a mouth, although you do not draw a classical mouth. And the easiest way to achieve that is to really stick to the original, because it works in that original, right? And it does not use lines. At least not all the way around. That's a bit rumbling again, but it's sometimes those concepts to explain them is very difficult in a second language. So I hope you forgive me if it doesn't make too much sense. I try. All I can do is try. The slides are looking great now. Wow, thank you, Mary. It starts to come together, right? So it really needs the other side of the face, but it starts to not look just like I don't know, a Dalmatian with a lot of spots. So, the mouth seems to not stick out like a sore thumb, so I think it's not too bad. Check again. Sometimes, yeah, it still works. I had in my browser where I see the chat, I had an error from YouTube. I had to check that you don't have that error too. Thank you very much, Mary. That means a lot from somebody like you. With your expertise. It's true. It is true. So, if you are new to the channel and just dropped by, we are drawing the Anointed One. We have on Fridays, I have the Buffy Club. If you're a Buffy fan, you are completely at the perfect and right spot here. We are watching everybody on their own time, but we have our club, and our clubhouse is my Discord. Link in the description, actually not from this video, but from any other time-lapse video if you want to join and you want to become a member of our Buffy Club. Everybody on his own time watches 2 episodes per week, and then we vote on who is the outstanding person or monster of the episodes, and then we draw that on the Friday in the Friday stream and discuss and talk. And as you can see, sometimes I just talk on my own while I draw. But if you want to talk with me and discuss with me, I'm here for you. I always talk a little bit about the episodes themselves. I've done that for the most part already. So if you want to talk about something, doesn't have to be Buffy centric. I'm not a Buffy channel, a pure Buffy channel. I'm also drawing superheroes and content creators, so can talk basically about everything. There are a couple of topics I would like to not go into too deep, but in general if you have something on your mind, let me know. As long as it is polite and not offensive. And also, if you do not like to watch too long streams, I always also put up always in parentheses. There are actually some pictures I really hated where I did not do a time-lapse video, but normally I do a time-lapse video. I make a time-lapse video out of the live streams where I also ramble a little bit. This is not right. Ooh, this is not right. Go away, you line. I hope it is not too... it's already pretty dark. How did this happen? Talk too much. Like that, no. Kinda. Doesn't feel so wrong. I think this is not completely correct. I think we have to go a little bit deeper here, and then the other side also works better. Something like that. Let's work with that. Doesn't look really wrong. So here we have a very spotty light. You just noticed that you're watching me on my phone and PC at the same time. That explains the viewers. No. So I don't even know if that counts twice, but I'm not mad. And this content is worth to be watched twice, right? I'm working hard here. We have first hour complete, and we are pretty good along. I think we'll say we're pretty good in time. So let's see where we... Ah, this is again too dark, but it's not that bad. We can lighten it. So this splotchy light here, that is a bit more difficult to draw than the bigger ones. to make sure that it works. It's all light that is filtered through the hair. It's actually a lot of the vampire scenes are filmed like this, at least in the first season. In the lair of the master. Where the light is coming from above. Like this. Makes for pretty dramatic shots. Went out for some time and came back with my phone. On the small display looks even better. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it looks better on the small screen. But on the big screen, this one also starts to come together. So I'm pretty happy for now. Let's try and get the right side closed. You never stop learning with your material when you use it a lot. I've started to use the eraser actually also as a real tool, not just to remove. Yes, of course, to remove, but to blend remove, not, oh, a mistake, I have to erase that, but really to, okay, I will draw something here, and to get it blended in even more nice, I will go in with the eraser, you know, as a real drawing tool, not just something to erase errors, but something to reach the actual goal that you're after. So this is where I'm not sure if with no, we have to draw this darker. We have said this is gray, but on the other side I cannot also use the gray because it's much darker everywhere actually, so we have to correct that. So all of this has to be, click that like button. Yes, I always say click that like button. Thank you, Mary. So we have to give this a general darkness. Although I have to say this is a bit rough. There's too much texture. But that's also a little bit the fault of the paper. Craft Zone, hi, how are you? Thank you, Danas. We are Danas. Again, I added the S. it's coming somewhat together. Still have to see how far we have to go with the darkness on this side. So, but all in all, works to a certain degree. And I think you can recognize him to a certain point, and he definitely looks like a child, so there's that. Then we have the, for contrast, the clothes here. We will put in as really black. And then we have actually a shadow that goes here, that connects actually the cloth and underneath his chin. So, craft sound, thank you very much. I take it you like it, how it turns out? And how are you today? So, we just put a little bit here also for the other shadow, just to show, okay, there's something else, just a little stylized. A little something. So, a little bit darker here to give it a bit more weight. Be careful that it does not show a wrong line, a wrong direction. What would you say? I don't know. We have become a fan, truly. Thank you very much, Craft Zone. You are too kind. You are too kind, my friend. I am blushing. So we have this line here. That is the other side of the neck. And the clothes end here, but they are not completely as dark, but we will probably just draw them almost as dark to have a little contrast also there. How are you, Craft Zone? Other than that, you're spending your time on a Friday with me, for which I'm very thankful. So, exactly. I should not draw these black areas already down here because they are very prone, of course, to smudging. And I kind of feel like I want to have a bit of a limit down there. But that is enough for now. I'm glad you're fine. Great to hear. So good Friday up until now. And which time zone are you? Are you is it evening for you? Is it just morning? Friday? Are you already on Saturday? Our Australian friends already are. So you never know. I have no idea if you are Australian. I don't think so, but I don't want to assume. You see, the black one is very dusty. There comes a lot of dust. And you have to be really careful to not start smudging when you put paper on that. India. Okay, so you are in the evening. It's night already where you are, right? After 12? There are probably a lot of time zones in India, aren't there? Big country. So So I'm not the biggest fan of ears. Regular viewers know that. Not because they are too difficult to draw, but because they are boring to draw. I don't enjoy drawing ears. So I will leave it at that for this ear for now. And go to the next one after I've drawn a little bit more of the surrounding things here. Saturday, 12 a.m. Yeah, so you are already in the weekend. Okay, other ear, which is in this case pretty easy. Do you know Buffy? Are you watching Buffy? Have you watched Buffy? Is Buffy a thing in India? I have no idea. I'll probably have to say, was Buffy a thing in India? It's not a current series anymore. I think we can start with the hair. We have still at least 20 minutes left, and we can start with the hair. That's a good thing, isn't it? Pretty shocked. There's a lot of hair on this head. He has a lot of hair. He has a lot of white also in the hair. So how do we approach this? We also still have a lot of light underneath the hair, so let me try to compartmentalize the hair. I always like to do that. You know, find some areas that you can define as section by itself, so you can start going section for section if you don't know how to do something, because it just seems to be so much. Try to put it in smaller bits. So it becomes instantly less frightening to approach. The good thing with this pencil is you can draw on top of it with lead, so I can do it like this and then just put the hair on top. But you have to be careful because the lead that you put on it always looks a little bit darker and smoother than directly on the paper. So I actually try to not layer too much on it. We'll see how it turns out in this case. I'll probably just try to draw the skin underneath and then put the hair on top. First, as if the hair isn't even there. So it will look a bit strange until we add the hair on top, but we do so very soon, so it's not that bad. Bengali staying at West Bengal, and you are from... I'm from Germany. So here it is almost 9 p.m. So it's evening. And still Friday. I'm sorry when I'm not always looking at chat, but sometimes I have to concentrate and think about how to continue with the picture, you know. So that is about all the skin we can see through the hair. So now we can start to layer the hair on top. And for that I often like to, it will be a little bit stylized anyway. Not perfectly well-defined strands of hair. So I actually like to start with the highlights when I'm drawing on gray paper. Put in the light strands of hair. So, then we have the brown, which gets real strands of hair with this pencil. You have a first pass. Which is not too dark. We have to go darker, of course. But when you layer already a not too dark first path on there, you already start to get a little bit of that hair texture when you start to layer on. And in the you have to draw into the direction of the light, so you can remove the pressure at the end, so that it gets a little bit faded out in direction of the light, so you get a good smooth transition there. And it looks like the hair there's a transition between the white and the darker strands of hair. And then you can add even more layers of different pressure and different darkness levels then, to try and get it to a level where you think, okay, this is a good approximation of the hair. And then you have the even darker areas, which need perhaps another pencil just to make it a little bit darker even. Gives it more of a 3D effect, makes it more realistic, makes it more like hair. Then of course we need the hair that is crossing over the skin of the forehead. So, looks a bit too orderly, if you ask me. A bit too coiffed. I think that's the word I'm searching for. So we have to add a little bit more, and again some more darker lines to again give it a bit more texture. Thank you very much, Good Night Craft Zone. Thank you very much for dropping by. So for the so pizza time. Thank you very much, Altek, and enjoy the pizza. Thank you so much for stopping by, and see you soon, I hope. Have a great weekend. So So again, also in this direction, into the direction of the white, although we are on the other side of it. So that it all feathers together. Multiple layers, ideally with multiple strengths of pencils, different pencils, or at least different force you put on the pencil. So has to be a couple of hairs here. And here. We have here a little bit of light. Don't forget that. So, it's all coming together. Isn't it? So, I think we are done with our first pass. And I think we can say it is not a complete loss. We can probably do more with contrast still. There is a couple of areas that could be darker. Probably not necessarily lighter though. We have a lot of light in it. Thank you very much, Dana. Mary, yes, my favorite part of the drawing here. But we're done with it and it looks not too shabby. If I may say so myself, it is not perfect. I still want to be better at hair, but it is pretty okay, I would say. Should not ruin the shape of the nose. It worked really well. So I think we're good. I'm so glad that you like it too. Let me clean up the eraser because I want to go a little bit into the white. And I don't want to damage it, I just want it a little bit less stark in some places. Not as strong. So, he looks so innocent. It's probably why he was casted that way. So it might be that I need to increase contrast here and there. Thank you very much for dropping by and being here for so long, Dana. Have a great day, have a productive weekend, but also an enjoyable one. And yeah, see you soon, I hope. I will close the stream also very soon, I guess, because we have the 2 hours full and we are pretty much done. As always, I will take a little bit time off from this picture and try and see it with fresh eyes and then decide on what I still need to do to finalize it. Then I will finalize it and I will record that and I will put that into a time-lapse video, which will be released next week. And so if you do not want to miss that, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Give me the thumbs up for this one. I would really appreciate that. And I would love to see you in one of the next streams. May it be a Buffy Club stream or a regular stream on Wednesdays. And if you want to join the Buffy Club, you can do so in an active way if you choose to do so by joining my Discord. You can find the link in any time-lapse video, not the live videos. Down in the description is the link tree. There you can find my Twitter, my Instagram, and also my Discord. You're very welcome to join and join the Buffy Club. Watch 2 episodes per week and discuss them and choose who is our MVP, most valuable player of those 2 episodes, and I will draw that on Friday. We will vote on that. So thank you very much. Thank you, Mary. Thank you so much for being here, and thanks to everybody else. Ryan was here as the first, Kira as second, Liana was here, Altek of course, Craft Zone, and I don't know who I am missing, but thank you to all of you. Thank you, I really appreciate you spending time with me. I hope I'll see you soon. Have a fun, wonderful weekend, and goodbye.